Okay, I'm living out in the rain. Yeah, you can call it homeless or what too, but here I'm doing I want to let it. I'm thinking about soldiers, but inside because it's raining. While you sit in your little dainty house, your little end of the thing with your little beard every day on the news, spectacle. You're sending boys out there to something you don't even want to watch in a movie. It's in a movie, duh. Send real kids and real young men and late and women out there into this stuff. It's real. It's not a movie. They're walking up to their way under no, no one's worried about them out there. You're in this. You're getting their arms and their legs. Come back and you look at them. You know, it's clear national and the United States or the United States don't pay its debts or its culture. We pay those people off. Second, we pay our debt to these soldiers in the military and all of them. All right, I was not best after they went here and so-called some for us. I think we this over there fighting in the people's land. But I'm gonna tell you what Intel is about. Intel is about don't getting ready to go move on us. We need to do something first. We don't want to make a swap since Pearl Harbor. What has never been over on this land. You don't know what it's like to have buildings all about around you and have bomb babies and no water, no electricity. No, you die if you people are so we go. We're gonna do can't for you. Couldn't dodge any bullet. Next time, it's public officials. Okay, police officers, detectives, CIA, you don't get no credit, and they save your butt every day, like the Avengers, and you don't even know you were in danger. These people will be compensated. They will live like movie stars. Okay, movie stars are not going to live above Jews and above uh, agents and people out there risking their life. You're not going to get paid more for walking in front of a camera shaking hands. You're not going to be able to be a rapper. And the people who are sitting, give you an example. They are like, you don't even see them. You don't know their name. You don't even care no more. Used to be a person in the neighborhood everyone knew. He was a friend to everyone. Now he's a nobody behind the seat in an arm. Well, let me tell you something about public service. They will be compensated. People who keep these cities and keep things going, they will be paid more than you shaking your booty and rapping and sitting playing a guitar. Too glorified, where no one wants to work, no one wants to pay, no one wants to do anything concrete. They all want to kick back by the pool and sip mai tais and be a rapper, a rock star, a country singer. Everyone secretly fantasizes this because it was our idea of success. All the women want to be legal secretaries and nurses, and all the men want to be doctors and lawyers. All this was based on women who were materialistic, putting these goals in their children's head. Okay? This is what their children to be, and this is how our society was shaped. Okay, which is not where it's supposed to start. It's to start with the child. The needs of the child are passed up to whatever the case may be. Whoever the home care person is, receives the message from the children as to we need milk, we need this, and they what's the start. All right, the whole system is messed up. Now we're getting off point. We are going to clear our debts. We clean up our act. We're going to be what we dream of being, what we say we are. It's not something that takes super muscles, super intelligence, or a whole lot to make money. We decide what it's worth. We can give anybody we want as much money as we want. We can assign any value to it we want. It's not set by the Federal Reserve or anyone over there. We're doing our own thing now. We're not England or a byproduct of England or a colony of England. It's all finna be refiled. This whole 1930 something move about the District of Columbia is being the whole United States. We have fixed that because you're over there thinking you're living in the United States and you're not. And you're participating like you are and you're believing like you are and you're being conned by people who are dead. Other people just went along. They didn't know what to do. I'm just one man. What can I do? And they all go along with the flow. Sort of like cops on the tape. Don't want to be surgical. Back to point at hand. We will say public servant. If you are a person in which everyone around you depends on you doing your job, no matter what their job is, you should be doing better than them all. Because without you, they wouldn't be doing so good. I mean, get to doing anything. I'm saying that we're going to guarantee we get ours. This isn't the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. We're going to carry ours. See, we're going to look out after our group and demonstrate. F the Republicans. We're gonna look out the Republicans, but F the Democrats. That's un-American. That's almost treasonous. What you're saying, that you are against an American citizen, where you cannot be against Americans and be a true. It's called being a leader. So we're not about group A group, about one group, one way. It's all one. All you got up the opposition, or the, and they find their way to and from it is the natural order. I'm not playing. I'm not here. And when I'm speaking to people, I will dot and I won't say no dim dat and does. But when I'm talking to people who use dim dat and does, you better believe it's gonna be like that. Now, then, when it's time for me to say, "You right, Holmes," I'm gonna say, "You right, Holmes." I'm gonna do what people telling what to hear. You know, I'm not going to American farmers and tell them farmers are the backbone of America, and then go to steel workers and say steel working is the backbone of America. No, I'm gonna tell the truth. Tell them what they hear. You know, my competition looks senile, you know, so they can't get reelected. You see how easy I'm chopping them up. I didn't make them in that state. I just chopped them up because they were in that state. But the old people use actual technology and actual stuff with people's minds. I just got hit. I was talking to you. Please snap that train of thought out my head. To keep me, you're gonna always hear me mention it until when I'm in there, I'm gonna find out what this device is, and I'm gonna get control of it and those who have it because they're insane. I cannot have insane people have these types of weapons. That's it. Back in the intelligence community. I can't let these kind of people have this type of power, have these type of mental problems. What type of mental problems? That are like volcanoes. They could just erupt at any minute because you can't see them or feel them. They hit you like a heart attack. You don't even know that you went crazy. You don't even know that you're doing something crazy. They seem completely normal. Those people, you know, like how could they do that? Just sit there and inflict pain on themselves like that. What things you're doing are just similar. Every time you puff on a cigarette, you blow holes in your lungs. Like a shot bullets, you blow sore hole. If your gun could shoot a sword, self-mutilation, self-hate, suicide, in a slow rate, will be taught from kindergarten on the is of this world, the composition of the world they live in. How many toes they have, how many fingers they have, how many pints of blood they have, and all these things, how this works, the nature of them, and how people interact here, interact other places, and why these places. We must get rid of all the insanity because the load of what we're putting on them is unnecessary for life. It actually handicaps and slows them down. How long has it been known that you can teach a kid to fly a stealth fighter you can teach a kid anything before the age of 7? How to navigate a battle cruiser, but we don't do that. We're constantly telling them, I can't tell you that. You're not ready for that yet. Someone came up with this censoring information, deciding who needs to know what at what age, and is mature enough to know what. So children are limited. And I ran into a lot of young ladies who were told, can't let you do that yet. Can't teach you about that yet. Can't talk about that. You're not allowed to think about that. You're not allowed to do that. You're not do that. They were supposed to be getting them ready for adulthood. And guess what? Teenage pregnancy says they weren't ready. You keep telling them they're not ready. Guess what? They're going to be ready. Nature says when you're 13 or 14-year-old, you're a young lady, you come on your menstrual cycle, which means you can bear children. Some man decided that they can't bear children until they're 18 or 21. I don't know who this man was, but he was insane. Anyone who goes against nature or the natural order of things is insane. It's suicidal in death. So you tell them they can't pregnant to them. How did that work out for you? They're still getting pregnant at 13 and 14, but their mind hasn't been prepared. They're not prepared to be a woman at 13 or 14. They're prepared to be a little girl because dad wants to keep his little girl little, and mom wants to keep her little girl a little girl. But the age of maturity is way lower than where these insane people put your mind and told you. Look at the natural stuff. These things you're calling teenagers, there's no such thing as a teenager. Okay? There's no such thing as a child. Okay? Or really a baby or an adult. This is just a person getting bigger and bigger and bigger, developing more and more and more and more and more and more and more in stages of development that slice up a lot lighter than these categories of child, teenager, and adult. And there are categories that are a lot more vast, such as your life cycle changes every. You got these like 3 life cycles that are every 20 years, from birth to 20 years old. Is a stage where everyone's telling you how things are done and what things are and won't. In ages 20 to 40, you don't want anyone to tell you anything. You want to know yourself and you want to do it for yourself. All right? Age 40 to 60, you're supposed to have it down. You're supposed to be able to know when you need help and when you can do it yourself and have balance. It breaks down into 6 10-year periods where you're really a child from age 1 to 10. And from age 10 to 20, you're something else. And age from 20 to 30, you're something else. And 30 to 40, and 40 to 50, and 50 to 60, and it goes like that. Now, what we have to do is make sure that we never tell an empty mind that Columbus discovered America when he didn't. Because you can't take information out of a person's head. You could tell them, oh, that's not true, I lied to you, but it's still wrong information in the wrong place in their mind. It's wrong information put in a place the child thought what you told them was true. That they could depend on you for anything. You're their whole world. You would never lie to them or deceive them. But you tell them Santa Claus for sport and entertainment and gift giving because you like that. You tell them Easter Bunny. You tell them Tooth Fairy. You tell them many, many things that are not true. And then you turn around and don't really tell them you lied. They just kind of find out you lied to them. And they start getting the attitude as young adults. You can't, where's this attitude coming from? I'm not your enemy. Yeah, well, you're a liar. They start coming at you like you're a liar. First time your children ever stand up and tell you you're wrong almost gives you a heart attack. You want to choke them out like they don't have the right to tell you you're wrong, even if you're wrong. See, we start the insanity process as children. We're not going to do that. We're not going to, because this guy wants to make money any kind of way and doesn't care what his product or service is doing to a person. We're not going to just support him or tell him he can do that. What if people decide, I'm going to run a game. We just go around shooting people. We're going to do the purge for a game. It's my business. It's the same way when a person is selling you a product that tastes good but is giving you cancer. It's the same way when you go and strap your kid in a contraption that's going to mess up their equilibrium and make them prone to drug addiction and alcoholism in the name of fun, calling it fair. And it's not fair because the child didn't know what it was getting into, and it had no way. It was dependent on you, and what you did wasn't fair to the child. It didn't even get a chance to decide if it wanted to like Dizzy as a pastime sport or fun or activity. You decided dizziness, ring around the rosy and merry-go-rounds, and let me spin you around. You decided being dizzy was fun, and you didn't decide it. Someone decided it for you long ago and passed it on to you. Now, are you getting the picture about the insanity that's been handed down for thousands of years? What you want in the Oval Office is the person with the best judgment. Okay, the more insane a person is, it centers on the judgment. To assume they can't judge left from right, right from wrong. They don't know what's real and what's not real. That's totally insane. So I'm getting in there based on showing the best sound judgment, having the best solutions, the best plan, best man for the job, best person for the job, should we say? You know, not because he's black, not because she's a woman, not none of that comes into play. It comes into play when we start thinking the nature of a woman and the nature of a man naturally. We're not talking about lesbian or gay men, because I don't think that's natural. See, it's not natural for a dog to think it's a cat. And there is no scientific evidence talking about I was born with these wrong chromosomes. That's all malarkey. It's all crap. At most, it could be is a chemical imbalance. This is what a pedophile and a child molester is. A person with overactive hormones, uncontrollable hormones, like a nymphomaniac is its counterpart. She doesn't rape people, but she wants to be raped. They're two sides of the same thing, and no one's telling you this. They're making it seem like, oh, he made an obscene gesture to his secretary. Let me explain to you the real world. This thing you call sex, define it without putting intercourse on it. What is it? Do you even know? See, no one's even taught you what it was, and you think you're doing it. Listen, everything you do is sexual. When you take someone's hand, when you make eye contact, when you speak to them, everything is this thing. It has different names, this same act. All right? But whenever you make contact with a person, it's sensual. It's senses connecting. The same as someone rubbing your neck, or any sense it touches your nerves. And nerves are your wires to your brain. So people are going around pretending like they don't have the same thoughts as these other people, and they've set rules saying you can't do this. Well, here's what I'm saying about the rules. They have to be reset. They were set by ancient, backwoods, primitive people. You know, if a woman showed her ankle, she was a lewd person. And remember those bathing suits, those whole piece bathing suits in which they just thought, the dance hall girls were like really naked, and we saw some woman today in these balloons. There's no way we would be turned on by her. You know, I mean, a clown has on less clothing. Anyway, so it became, oh, show your leg. You're allowed to show your leg. Then you're allowed to show your thigh. And now they're walking around with a string up their butt and a little piece of cloth in front of their vagina and two little round things on their nipples, which means someday they will be walking around naked again, like some people are doing somewhere in the world who have never stopped doing it. See, You don't come with clothes. It can't be a mandatory thing if you don't come with it. If it isn't natural. Clothes don't, they actually do grow on trees. The fabrics and stuff that we wear now, they do come from plants, you know. But the purpose of clothing is not to hide your body from someone else because a certain part of your body is taboo because he says so and she says so. No. Teach people to be comfortable with their body and they won't go all berserk and stuff when it's accidentally revealed, or they won't be craving to see something that is visible to all. Want to rip off their clothes to see it. No. The purpose of clothes is because the planet's been thrown out of whack. I hate even calling it a planet. The world's been thrown out of whack. We have to shield ourselves from the environment. It's what causes aging. It's what shapes the mountains. It's what makes you age. The hot and the cold and the wind and the rain beating on your skin is what makes you age. You would not wrinkle or age at all if you were never hit by none of those things or the germs or gases within them. Because there are bugs and parasites and all this stuff are eating on your skin, little microscopic little things you can't see. And you can try to pick off fleas when filled because you feel them, but these little things you barely feel them. You think you're itching. They're so small you think you're itching, but you're really being nibbled on by a little creature. But so clothes are to protect you from these things. They're to protect you. They're not there to hide behind. Okay, I don't know about Adam, Eve, and the leaf. It's not natural. Okay, so the sensors and everything have to be rethought. I.e., you have to get the note on cursing. We can't interact every note I try to touch and cross reference as many notes as I can, but there are some notes you're going to have to get that note that's specifically for that subject because a mention about it does not go in depth. This subject is, which we've strayed from the point, paying what we owe, cleaning up our act, getting ourselves together, get a grip on reality, which is going to be a hard one for you because we're going to have to tell you that reality is not what you think it is. So, this is a preparation process to make you glad. The truth. To This is something that they want. All right. When I say I'm gonna tell them what they want to hear, they want to hear the truth. Okay. They want to hear what really is. Okay. They don't want a page in which this part is blacked out and that part is blacked out and this part is blacked out and you can't make heads or tails of it. They don't want to. You're not clear to know that type situation. Anything that concerns them, the Freedom of Information Act was put there for that reason. Not for a few little men in power to say, you know who I am, I can make and break you. It's an ego mental trip that comes with power. You give a kid who's never had power a McDonald's badge that says he's a manager, watch him transform into some boss figure he's seen on television, or he aspires to be, or he's, you know what I'm saying, or he's worked under. He's going to emulate his boss or whatever. And every now and then somebody will just be themselves. Guess who ends up being the manager for real? The one who are just being themselves. Because they are the most liked. They're the most loved. The company used to move up the most hard-working, nose-grinding asshole. That kind of fell by the wayside, you know. It fell by the wayside with those nooses around our neck and those collars that cutting into our neck and keeping us from even being able to turn our head, and restrictive suits and all. It went out the window when Microsoft became one of the biggest companies in in the world, and everybody had on jeans and tennis shoes and t-shirts. and their productivity was way higher than IBM in the suits. Everybody began to follow suits, and their productivity increased. You know, I've ran the experiment in my hometown, a city of mercy, and we did this. If you go there, you will see people. You won't see people walking around in suits. If they are, they're going to a funeral, graduation, some official thing, and we're looking. We wish we didn't have to do it then. We're looking to kill it then. It's just that that's a tradition. It's not our way of life. It's a tradition. So it's special occasion stuff. Out of town people, you can spot them. They're the ones that's uncomfortable. Everybody else is comfortable. I don't care who it is. If you see the mayor around town, I'm telling you, he's going to be comfortable. You might would have seen him on a bicycle in some shorts riding by and know he's not all pressed and clean from the cleaners. He's got on his favorite t-shirt that he barbecues in the backyard in. You know, this is happiness. This is comfort. Okay? This is how you do it. Um, give the people what they want, and eventually they will learn to want what you have to give. Quote, Dr. Malachi Z. York. If I pardon anyone, letting you know ahead of time so you don't come as a surprise. If I could pardon someone day one in office, it would be Dr. York. Because remember what I said about the greatest minds in the greatest position? When it comes to our international policy and ambassadors, I can't think of a greater international ambassador to send than Dr. York. He is the highest authority on language, culture, religion, and the differences and origins of all the people. Yeah, all you people walking around like amnesia patients who don't really know who you are and where you're at and trying to call ancestors.com, not meant to be a plug. Um, he's your huckleberry. And some evil people conspired against him. Michael Jackson team. I hate to use Michael as an example always, but it was also done to me. They're gonna try to run that as a black mark. You know, they like smear campaigns. They're gonna think they have some own. They're gonna say, well, check his background. Oh, we see here in the background, he was arrested for possession of marijuana. Can't use that anymore. Marijuana's legal. Damn, back in the day, we could. Aha, I see here, over here, his children were taken from him. Was he accused of child abuse or something? That's where they messed up or something. They should have read the transcripts and sentence by sentence the whole exact trial, which I will publish, you know, as soon as they try this move. Second of all, they say, oh, we got another interest. He was arrested. Look here. Lewd and lascivious behavior upon a minor. Whoa, that's a bad one. Oh God, is he some kind of child rapist or what is this? We got him now because we're getting people who just said something out of the way 10 years ago to a secretary on sexual harassment. There's no way we got him. But they did not, as they didn't read the small print. They did not see. Here's where people is with their OJ did it mind and stuff, or not. Michael Jackson's a child pedophile. Now, here's what I saw. I don't know what world you were in. Here's what I saw. I saw Michael Jackson go to accused of being a child molester or doing things improper with children. I saw this. It was on television on every channel every day. All day. They showed him coming to the trial every day, leaving. They had the Super Bowl, the post game show was as long as the post trial show for Michael Jackson, and it was on every day. So finally, they came to the end. They never even showed you the trial All right, and no, they showed you what they wanted. Oh, he looks bad. His nose is falling off. Oh, he's dying. Look at him. Oh, they showed you what they wanted to show you. Okay, all because rich people were mad because they couldn't use Michael for a puppet. They couldn't snap their finger and have him come do his thing in their backyard. That's how this all really started. The powers that be, everybody wanted Michael Jackson, loved Michael Jackson. Rich people who thought they could do anything, thought they should be able to snap their fingers and make Mike and have sex with Mike if they want. Wrong. And so they went to destroy anyone who does that. Your plane falls out the sky, things happen. You end up dead in the elevator, things happen. So it was on every day. The trial ended. The verdict came in. Not guilty. Half the world don't even know he was found not guilty. No, over half the world don't know he was found not guilty. Why? Because the second that the not guilty verdict came in, it went off the air. Nothing mentioned about it on the news. Nothing mentioned 6 o'clock. Nothing mentioned 10 o'clock. Nothing mentioned on the 11 o'clock news. A subject that was carried every day by every news channel all day. When the not guilty verdict came in, it just went off the air, swept under the rug. A witch hunt that didn't go the way they planned it.